Can science explain everything? Why belief in God still makes sense? Have you ever heard someone say, science has buried God? That belief is everywhere. The idea that science and faith are enemies, locked in some cosmic cage match where only one can win. But what if that's not true at all? In this video, I'm going to dive deep into the heart of one of life's biggest questions. Can science explain everything? And is it still reasonable to believe in God? What science can do and what it cannot do. Science is an incredible tool. In fact, my background always been in science and engineering, and I'm a data scientist working in a tech company. Science can split atoms, can map galaxies, can sequence the human genome. It answers how things work, how stars burn, how cells divide, how gravity bends light. But science doesn't answer the biggest question of all. Why? But that's a legit question. Why things are the way they are? Let's think about an analogy. John Lennox talks about Aunt Matilda's cake. Imagine Aunt Matilda has baked a cake, and we've called different scientists from different backgrounds to analyze the cake. Scientists analyze it, they know its weight, ingredients, the chemical reactions that baked it, but none of them can answer why was the cake made. Only Aunt Matilda knows that, because purpose doesn't come from the cake, it comes from outside it. Just like science can explain the structure of the universe, but not why it exists, in the same way, we can't know the purpose of the cake unless we ask Aunt Matilda. Why is the universe understandable? Have you ever wondered why the universe is even intelligible, why it follows laws, why we can do science at all? Einstein once said, the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. John Lennox builds on this by saying science doesn't explain the rationality of the universe, it assumes it. The fact that we can do science is we assume there are laws, we assume there are patterns or repeatability and patterns that repeat, and so based on those we can build models that we can predict using that model. But why does the universe follow logic? Why is your mind capable of understanding the cosmos? A theistic worldview gives an answer. In the beginning was the Word. John chapter 1 verse 1. The Greek word for word is meaning logic, reason, and mind. Maybe the universe is intelligible because it was made by intelligence. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word is information, and information comes from intelligence, from mind. Scientism versus science. Let's talk about a dangerous idea called scientism. The belief that science is the only way to the truth. Sounds impressive, right? But no. The belief is not scientific itself, it's philosophical. You can't test it in a lab or prove it with data. Lennox writes, scientism is not science, it's a belief about science. Just like saying only what I say matters, it's circular and it collapses under its own weight. Scientism also is circular. The fact that saying science is the only way. Truth is not provable by science itself. Science is amazing, but it's not the whole map of truth. It's one method of discovering facts, not the judge of all reality. Fine-tuning and the DNA code. Let's zoom into the universe and into your cells. Scientists have found that the universe is fine-tuned. Change gravity just a tiny bit and no stars, no planets, no life. Inside you is DNA, a 3.5 billion letter code, not just chemicals, but information. No one believes that books write themselves. This is what John Lennox says. So why do we believe that the information in DNA come from nowhere? Matter and energy are not enough. Information needs a mind. What we see in DNA, what we see in cosmos are information. Information needs a mind. Is it still reasonable to believe in God? Absolutely. In fact, science itself, born from people who believed in God. Kepler, Newton, Faraday, Maxwell. They believed that God made the world worth studying. He put laws in there, order in there for us to explore. Psalm 19:1 says, "The heaven declares the glory of God." Romans 1:20 says, "God's invisible qualities are clearly seen in what He has made." Faith is not blind. These things are written that you may believe. Faith is a response to evidence. It's not belief without reason. It's belief beyond what science alone can explain. I myself experienced the effect of faith in my life. I have a really analytical mind. I always analyze things to bits and details and understand the underlying pattern and mechanism and so. Yet, faith, through experience and of course through logic, first of all, the fact that there must be a truth, that things arrive from that truth. And second of all, reading the word, reading Bible, and my personal experience when I tried praying for things that the probability and odds were very low, and they got answered several times. So as a data scientist, data through faith showed themselves to have patterns, to be real, not just random. It wasn't just random response to prayer. It was repeated, just like any other data that I analyzed. I saw the pattern. My experience talking with God, something that was missing my entire life. And all of a sudden that had huge effect on me. So my faith is not blind. It's definitely based on evidence. Now, looking at the bigger picture, has science buried God, or has it revealed the fingerprints of a mind behind it all? The precision of the universe, the code in our cells, the longing for truth and purpose, they don't prove God like a math formula, but they whisper of something more. Maybe like Aunt Matilda's cake, we can only know the real answer when the Creator reveals it. And maybe the biggest questions we're asking were planted in us, so we would seek the one who answers them. So you tell me, do you think it's reasonable in a science-conquered world to believe in God? Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.